You've been told attraction is a game, that you need lines, tactics, status, or money to win her over. You've watched men chase, manipulate, and try to impress their way into a woman's heart and still fail. And maybe, just maybe, you've tried those things too, only to be left feeling frustrated, unseen, or not enough. But what if I told you that everything you've been taught is backward? That the key to attraction doesn't start with her, it starts with you. And that three simple, magical words can create a shift so powerful, she'll feel drawn to you without even knowing why. These words aren't pickup lines. They're not tricks. They're not something you say to get something. They are a reflection of who you choose to become. When you say them and mean them, something changes. Not just in how she sees you, but in how you see yourself. But before I give you those words, let me tell you a truth most people will never say out loud. Women are not attracted to perfection. They're not attracted to muscles, cars, or power alone. They're attracted to presence. Emotional presence. The kind that makes her feel like she's the only woman in the room. The kind that says, you are safe here. You are valued here. You are seen here. Because at the end of the day, every woman, just like every human, wants to feel something real. So what are the three magical words? They are, I see you. That's it. 3 words. But not just any words. These words carry weight. They carry energy. And when said from a grounded place, with confidence, with calm, and with connection, they unlock the kind of attraction that's impossible to fake. Let me explain. I see you is not about her appearance. It's not about complimenting her dress or her smile, though those things are nice. It's about something deeper. It's about acknowledging her essence, her energy, her presence in the world. When you say, I see you, what you're really saying is, I see your effort, I see your dreams, I see your strength, I see your vulnerability, I see the parts of you that the world overlooks, and I honor them. Can you imagine how powerful that feels to someone? Think about your own life. How often do you feel truly seen? Now imagine being a woman in a world that constantly judges her, compares her, objectifies her. Imagine how rare, how precious it feels to be looked at, not for her body, but for her being. That's what makes these words magical. They pierce through noise. They cut through pretense. They reach the heart. But here's the catch, you can't fake it. You can't say, I see you, and mean, I want something from you. That's not how energy works. She will feel the difference. Because women don't just listen with their ears, they feel with their intuition. And if your energy is off, if your intention isn't pure, the words fall flat. So how do you make these words work? You become the kind of man who sees. You start by seeing yourself, fully and honestly. You acknowledge your own wounds, your own gifts, your own growth. You build a relationship with your own emotions. You stop hiding behind ego or trying to impress. You learn to sit with stillness, with truth. Because the more you can hold space for yourself, the more you can hold space for her. This is what makes you magnetic. When a woman meets a man who doesn't flinch at vulnerability, his or hers, she feels it. When a man can look her in the eyes and listen, truly listen, without needing to fix, change, or control her, something inside her softens. She lets down her guard, she opens. And in that moment, you're no longer a stranger, you're a sanctuary. You become the calm in the chaos, the clarity in confusion, the safety in a world that often feels unsafe. That's what women are drawn to. Not flash, not force, but presence. Let me take you deeper. When you say, I see you, you're not just speaking to her. You're speaking to the little girl inside her who was told she wasn't enough. The teenager who compared herself to everyone else. The woman who has walked through heartbreak, through self-doubt, through silence. You're telling every version of her, you matter, you're enough. You are worthy of love just as you are. And when those words are real, when they come from a man who has done his own inner work, they create instant, powerful, unforgettable attraction. Because now you're not just another man. You're the man, the one who gets it, the one who doesn't need to chase because he invites, who doesn't need to perform because he radiates, who doesn't need to control because he trusts. So how do you step into this energy? Start here. 1. Master your stillness. Stop chasing, stop proving, stop performing, just be. Sit in silence. Reflect on your values. Listen to your own intuition. When you're calm within, you become a calming presence for others. Women feel that instantly too. Practice mindful observation. Next time you talk to a woman, really see her. Notice what lights her up. Notice what dims her energy. Listen not just to her words, but to her body language, her tone, her energy. When you speak to what's unspoken, you stand out. 3. Acknowledge what most ignore. Instead of the usual compliments, go deeper. Say, I noticed how you lit up when you talked about your dream. That passion is beautiful. Or, I can tell you carry a lot of strength, but I sense softness underneath. That's rare. Make her feel like she matters, not just looks good. 4. Clean your inner mirror. The more judgment you hold for yourself, the more you unconsciously project it onto others. Let that go. Forgive yourself. grow. The clearer your self image, the clearer you'll see her. 5. Speak with integrity. Don't say things you don't mean. Don't flatter to impress. Speak less, but make it count. When you say, I see you, let it come from the core of your being. Let it vibrate with truth. You don't need to be rich, tall, or perfect to attract women. You need to be real. You need to be awake. You need to be emotionally intelligent enough to recognize the power of presence over performance. Because here's another secret: every woman wants to be chosen, not just desired. And when you say, I see you, and back it with presence, you're choosing her, not for how she looks or what she can give you, but for who she is. That creates trust. And trust creates attraction that's deep, lasting, and magnetic. Let me tell you a story. A man once sat across from a woman on a simple coffee date. He didn't boast, he didn't brag, he didn't lean in with cheesy lines. He just listened. And when she spoke about her love for art, he said, I see the way your eyes light up when you talk about painting. That's beautiful. You have this quiet fire in you. Do you know that? She stopped, surprised, softened. No one had ever seen her like that before. It wasn't the words, it was the energy behind them. He wasn't trying to impress, he was being present. And that made all the difference. That meant he didn't need to chase. She leaned in. She wanted more. Because in that moment, she didn't just feel attracted, she felt safe, seen, and special. You have that power too. It's not locked behind money or looks. It's in your voice, your stillness, your awareness. It's in your willingness to become the kind of man who sees. So next time you talk to a woman, pause, look into her eyes, let go of the outcome, and from a place of grounded calm, say the three magical words, I see you. Watch her energy shift. Watch her soften. Watch her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time: connection. Because in a world of surface, you chose depth. In a world of noise, you offered silence. In a world of taking, you gave presence. And that is unforgettable. So here's your challenge, not just for today, but for life: become a man of presence. A man who sees, not just with his eyes, but with his soul. A man who uses words not to manipulate, but to elevate. And when the right woman comes along, you won't need to chase her. She'll feel drawn to you effortlessly, magnetically, beautifully, because you speak the one language every heart understands: truth. You won't just attract a woman, you'll attract the right woman with three simple, magical words: I see you. Attraction is not about tricks, it's about transformation. You see, for far too long, we've been sold the lie that attraction is some kind of game. That if you just say the right lines, wear the right clothes, or act a certain way, you can win someone over. But let me tell you the truth: real, lasting attraction doesn't come from strategy, it comes from substance. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming someone you're proud of. Because the real magic, the kind that creates a deep, magnetic pull, comes from authenticity, from being so grounded in who you are that your presence speaks louder than any line ever could. When you walk into a room fully aligned with your values, your energy changes. You no longer have to seek validation, it comes to you naturally. But it doesn't stop at authenticity. The next layer is intention. Women, especially, can feel the energy behind your words. They can sense whether you're approaching from a place of curiosity and connection, or ego and agenda. When your intention is pure, it's powerful. When you speak from your heart without expecting anything in return, it disarms people. It creates a space of safety and trust is the root of attraction, and then comes the game changer: emotional intelligence. This is the ability to not just understand your own emotions, but to read and respect hers. It's the ability to sit with discomfort, to hold space for her feelings, and to respond with empathy instead of ego. A man who can regulate his emotions, who can handle complexity without shutting down or lashing out, is rare. And rare is attractive. When you combine authenticity, intention, and emotional intelligence, you don't try to attract, you become attractive. You don't need to chase, manipulate, or impress. You simply radiate something most people are missing: realness. And that kind of realness is unforgettable. That kind of presence is what women crave in a world full of noise. So forget the tricks, let go of the game. Focus on the transformation, your transformation. Because when you elevate your inner world, the outer world responds. And that's where the true magic begins. The three magical words that instantly attract women aren't rooted in some clever phrase or shallow compliment. They don't rely on looks, money, or smooth delivery. They are rooted in deep emotional resonance, that powerful space where words carry energy, truth, and intention. When these words are spoken with genuine sincerity, they don't just land on her ears, they echo in her soul. You see, most men aim for the surface. They try to impress with charm, wit, or status. But charm without depth fades fast. Superficial words may grab attention for a moment, but they rarely create connection. Real connection doesn't happen in the mind, it happens in the heart. And the heart doesn't respond to cleverness, responds to truth. That's why these three words bypass logic entirely. They don't need to be explained. They feel true when spoken from the right place. When a woman hears them from a man who is emotionally present, self aware, and grounded in his masculinity, something within her recognizes it. It's like a tuning fork that strikes the same frequency inside her. A moment of resonance she didn't even know she was waiting for. These aren't just words, they are a mirror, a reflection of her value, her effort, her being. And when you say them, really say them, with no hidden agenda, no performance, no expectations attached, they touch something no pickup line ever could. This is where attraction becomes irresistible. Not because you're trying to get her, but because you're showing her something few ever do: emotional depth. A man who can reach her heart without trying to possess it. A man who acknowledges her without needing to win her. In that moment, you separate yourself from every other man, not through flash, but through feeling. Not by playing a part, but by being one. That's the secret. That's the magic. Because when a woman feels seen, not judged, not sized up, not objectified, but truly seen, her guard drops. Her energy opens. Her interest becomes genuine. Why? Because she isn't just responding to words, she's responding to the rare, beautiful experience of being emotionally understood. And that, my friend, is how you create attraction that's not only instant, but unforgettable. Women are not drawn to noise, to ego, or to hollow confidence. They're drawn to feeling, to presence, to emotional truth. And above all, they are drawn to men who make them feel safe, seen, and special. That's not a strategy, it's a soul level requirement. Let's break that down. First, safety. Emotional safety is everything. In a world that constantly pressures women to look a certain way, act a certain way, and never let their guard down, a man who offers emotional safety becomes a rare sanctuary. A man who doesn't judge, who listens without trying to fix, who can hold space without making it about himself. That kind of man makes her exhale, makes her relax. Because finally, she doesn't have to perform. She can just be. And the moment she feels safe, attraction naturally begins to bloom. Why? Because safety breeds trust. And trust is the foundation of every real connection. Second, being seen. Every woman, every human really wants to feel truly seen, not just for her looks or what she can offer, but for her essence, her energy, her unique presence in the world. When a man sees her beyond the surface, when he notices the passion in her voice, the way she lights up when she talks about her dreams, or the quiet strength she carries, it touches something deep inside her. She feels recognized, and that recognition is magnetic. It tells her, you matter, you're not invisible, I value the real you. And third, being made to feel special. Not in a way that inflates her ego, but in a way that honors her individuality. When you speak to her not like she's just another girl, but like she's the only woman in the room, something shifts. Because when a man brings his full attention, his full presence, and his full respect to a woman, it's felt deeply. It separates him from every man who's ever made her feel replaceable. And here's the truth most men miss: it's not just the words you say that matter, it's the energy behind them. You can say all the right things, but if your energy is needy, manipulative, or superficial, she'll feel it instantly. Women are emotionally intuitive. They pick up on what your mouth isn't saying. But when your words come from a place of clarity, calm confidence, and genuine care, they don't just land. They penetrate. They open emotional doors that no game, no trick, no tactic ever could. Because you're not trying to take something from her. You're giving her something rare: the experience of being honored, of being emotionally embraced without pressure or performance. That's the kind of energy that lingers. That's the kind of energy that turns conversations into connections and moments into memories. So remember, women don't fall for what you show them. They fall for how you make them feel. And if you can make her feel safe, seen, and special, not just once, but consistently, you won't just attract her. You'll awaken a part of her that's been longing to be reached. And that is where the real magic begins.